My wife is wonderful and I love staring at her. He emphasized that quality or quantity is important.
Quality of what, bro? Work?
Quality of work.
Okay.
Quality of
Why isko kaatna padega? I saw one news reporter going to Mahakumbh and he found a guy who's from IIT Bombay and is now a sadhu.
So Mohit, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you married?
No.
Do you work 90 hours a week?
No.
So what is the point?
What's the point? Oh, nice.
So L&T's chairman S.N. Subramaniam said that we'll have to work 90 hours a week or else what are you doing staring at your wives on Sundays?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that.
Bro, I play Counter-Strike and I'm staring at the player, bro. That's all I do. But I don't work 90 hours a week.
But should you work 90 hours a week?
Will I get paid like that?
I don't know. It's almost become like an auction where Narayan Murthy one day is like 70 hours a week and then L&T is like 90 hours a week. Someone's going to tell 100 hours a week.
Okay.
Who do you think that is going to be next?
I think that is going to be Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
A lot of Indian founders have, have made quite a few statements against L&T's S.N. Subramaniam. If I were to read out a few,
I think Anand Mahindra was one, right?
Anand Mahindras said, "My wife is wonderful and I love staring at her." He emphasized that quality or quantity is important.
Quality of what, bro? Work?
Quality of work.
Okay.
And Adar Pudawala.
Who's Adar Punala?
Bro, he's the reason why all of us are alive today. He gave us the vaccines during COVID.
Yeah.
He said, "Yes, Anand Mahindra, even my wife, Natasha Poonawalla, thinks I am wonderful. She loves staring at me on Sundays."
I think Anupam Mittal also said something, right? He was talking about what was
Stop
it?
them all. he
Yeah.
said. But sir, if husband and wife don't look at each other, how will we remain the most populous country in the world? Jokes apart.
Yeah.
Do you think it's right for someone like S.N. Subramaniam, heading one of India's largest IT conglomerates, to come out and say that, hey, I don't respect your Sundays.
Yeah.
I work 90 hours a week. Sure, the HR says that the statement was taken out of context.
Yeah.
But what do you think are some of the implications it might have for someone who's working,
I think for covering this news as well, we had to work on a Sunday, right? Because I think...
Yeah.
But at the same time, someone I think replied that it should start from the top instead of posting from the bottom, right? The chairman should start working 90 hours a week and let's see if then we can adapt it 5 years later, maybe. Let's see how that plans out.
Okay, do you think we can have a 90-hour work week in India?
Point is that, do you think Bangalore, is it possible to have 90 hours work week? Because out of the 90, 45 will be on the road traveling to office.
I know.
Yeah.
But again, I think in India, a 90-hour work week shouldn't be implemented. But I don't think there's going to be a widespread protest for the same.
Yeah.
Because look, if 10 employees quit, citing that 90 hours is like too much of pressure, but there are so many other folks who desperately want that money.
Yeah.
Right? Who are in dire need of money, and eventually for them, anything's fine, right? Any standard of work is fine. But companies are going to have a problem even if they enforce a huge amount of hours a week.
Yeah.
But guess who also had a comment to make? A very unlikely comment.
Kunal Kamra.
No, it was Deepika Padukone.
Okay. Yeah.
She took the stance towards mental health.
Yeah.
And which is quite fair.
Yeah, she's a very big mental health advocate.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think you have a lot of celebrities sort of,
But what connection does Deepika have with Indian IT?
she doesn't have any connection, but it's good, right? You have someone like Deepika Padukone who has the connection with the non-IT audience, non-IT engineers, sort of letting people know how some of the biggest leaders of the country think.
Yeah.
And sort of bringing awareness where a lot of these celebrities, are quite diplomatic and they don't like to make a few harsh statements. So I sort of appreciate the comment from Deepika Padukone. But what do you think? What do you think about all of this?
I think when the HR of SNS said that the things were taken out of proportion, I think it was in some sense a little truth there, because he was just talking about this to his internal employees and he was not enforcing any rules. So I think it was a little bit okay, but his comments on staring at the wife, I think that was a little bit too much.
Yeah, but either way, I think even if it was a candid behind the scenes comment, doesn't it give you an insight of how someone like him functions or someone like him thinks? Because only if you have the thought, you're probably going to make that statement out in the public. While people in India are saying, hey, Indians should work more, employees should work more, a very certain someone in the United States said that he's not going to hire software engineers anymore.
Oh yeah, Salesforce CEO said that they're not hiring any more software developers, and mostly that is because they're going to hire AI agents. Wow,
Yeah,
and they are also going to work 90 hours. Okay.
Yeah, I think AI agents should work 100 hours. So while Sundar Pichai said that over a quarter of new code is written by AI at Google,
Yeah.
there's probably not a lot of, truth to this because, I saw a few posts on Hacker News where he said that the code generation is basically on an auto-completion level, right?
Like how you press tab on GitHub
Exactly.
Copilot. Yeah. something
Yeah,
like that.
see, I'll just read out the comment, right? I don't want to misquote anything. So here's what someone had to say at Hacker News. So I work for Google and I just got done with my workday. I was just writing, I guess, what you would call AI-generated code. But the code completion engine is basically just good at finishing the lines I'm writing.
Just pressing tab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just an autocomplete agent.
So it's not AI who is writing the code. So people don't have to get worried about losing their jobs and everything.
And here's the thing, even when Devin came out for public access last week, right? Even though it's charged $500 a month, a lot of engineers say that there's a problem with AI generated code. One, it writes code that probably isn't needed. So a lot of code is very difficult to be comprehended by human engineers. So the best combination is having a tool like Cursor or Replit with a human coder as a companion.
Yeah, and they should know coding instead of like all developers' job will be gone and everything.
Exactly. So you sort of know what the AI is doing.
Yeah.
And you also know every step of the process. It's not like when you wake up in the morning, you have a pile of code that you can't understand, which is what a lot of developers are seeing.
Yeah.
But this is not all bad news at Salesforce.
Yeah. Salesforce is hiring 2,000 salespeople. As the name suggests of Salesforce, they're not into developers, they're into salespeople. But that job can also be done by AI agents, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part is,
Yeah.
Mark Benioff also said that they've received over 9,000 applications for the same.
Oh,
Yeah, and even I was going through OpenAI's career post.
I thought you were going to say I was also applying.
No,
Okay.
I can't apply.
Yeah.
And I was going through OpenAI's job postings, and even though they've had the O3 model at their disposal, even though they claim the model to be so powerful,
Yeah.
they're still hiring for over 100 people across various roles.
Okay.
Right? And sales, marketing, and customer success roles make up quite a few of them. So we've heard 70 hours, so we've heard 90 hours. So what are these CEOs trying to accomplish, right? It's obviously not like the stock price is going to rise if they make these comments.
It went down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Neither is it going to change any work policies. Obviously, the government is not going to let them. So what is the point of all of this?
I think when Narayan Murthy started it, it was all about motivating the workforce.
Right.
Not just his Infosys workforce, but also the entire Indian population to compete with China, USA, and how. If I take the AI angle, I think it was about building AI models and everything. So I think it was necessary. But when we compare about SNS comments and all this staring at the wife and all these comments, I think that was a little bit unnecessary. But I still, to some extent, support it. Not the wife staring part, the work hours part.
Exactly. But it's also how the work hours are sort of measured. Right?
Yeah.
So it's also about willingness. And I see a lot of people in startups. I see a lot of coders, a lot of founding members who are engineers. They work day and night. They don't count the clock. So I think comments like these are more apt for people who are truly passionate engineers. People who
Exactly.
really like what
Yeah.
they do.
I think that is what the comments were about. If someone wants to work 90 hours, they should be
Exactly.
allowed to work 90 hours as well. I think they weren't trying to frame a policy.
And I think it's also a statement that is, he was probably not able to express it in the
Yeah.
right manner. He
Yeah.
probably wants more passionate engineers coming out of the country.
Do you think there's enough passion in all these Indian IT companies?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so because you take a look at the barrier to entry, right? It's very low. You see a lot of engineers being hired from campus placements who at best know code from what they've been taught in their computer laboratories.
And that is nothing.
Then that's absolutely nothing, right? So I think what he nails and the conclusion of all of this is that we in India need more passionate engineers. And
Yeah.
It's also their responsibility to build an environment for passionate engineers, right?
Okay.
If
Makes sense.
L&T wants passionate engineers, if L&T wants engineers who are willing to work 90 hours a day,
They should pay the compensation.
exactly,
Yeah.
they cannot get away with paying 3 to 5 lakhs a month.
Yeah.
They need to offer the benefits that these startups are offering. They need to give a good authority to these senior engineers instead of their ideas being, lost in the bureaucracy and the corporate hierarchy.
But amidst all this, 90 hours, 70 hours,
Yeah.
Do you think it's really working?
I don't know. Is it working?
I saw one news reporter going to Mahakumbh and he found a guy who's from IIT Bombay and is now a sadhu. I think that is what the future looks like for a lot of Indian graduates.
So you hear comments like these, 70
Yeah.
90 years, and you just might as well quit the industry,
Yeah.
just turn into a sadhu.
Yeah.
It's working in that way.
Yeah. So I
And
think
he was an aerospace engineer.
aerospace
Do we
engineer.
have any info on what he was doing?
No, we don't have exact information if that is even true, but it gives a lot of motivation to just go and become a sadhu and attend Kumbh Mela.
Right.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's the best idea.
Yeah.
When anyone says, we're going to have a 100-hour work week,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to become a sadhu.
Yeah.
So yeah, and our question to you as audience is, how many hours would you be willing to work on something that you really like?
And that is not L&T or Infosys.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily IT, whether it's painting, whether it's cooking. So how many hours would you spend a week if that paid you money? Do let us know in the comments below. So yeah,
Yeah. And please let us know in the comments in our native language.
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode of Debunked.
Bye-bye.